Hey, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to tonight's episode of Critical Conversations. Let me drop a few quotes on you before we dive into our topic tonight. Nelson Mandela says, "There is no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living." Joseph Joubert says, "It is better to debate a question without settling it than to settle a question without debating it." Rihanna says, "I always believe that when you follow your heart or your gut, when you really follow the things that feel great to you, you can never lose because settling is the worst feeling in the world." Tonight's topic is when less really isn't best. Why do we settle? Sit back, fasten your seatbelts, get your bottle of water. We're going to listen to Mook Star Dash's alterations, do some announcements, and then we're going to get into it. Let's go.
I'm tired of the same thing, same people, same memory. I can't let it hold me. Purple hair and a nose ring. People always judge me. I need God to do the surgery. He's the only one who can fix me, customize and alterate me. God, I need alterations, please fix me. I need some changes. God, I need alterations, please fix me. I need some changes. God, I need alterations, please fix me. I need some changes. God, I need alterations, please fix me. I need some changes. I started running solo, lost some friends, lost some people. Trust me, only God knows. Conversations that I didn't know. Oh, I need some upgrading. Restore and make changes. What's not of His spirit, moving out the way. Religion tried to cut me, chain me up and mute my story. Ain't nothing gonna shut me up. I've overcome. Got my testimony. And everything that tried to stop me, no weapon will come against me. Let God do the fixing, yeah. Customize and alterate me. God, I need alterations, please fix me. I need some changes. God, I need alterations, please fix me. I need some changes. God, I need alterations, please fix me. I need some changes. God, I need alterations, please fix me. I need some changes. Hey, God, I need. God, I need. Please fix me. God, I need. Please fix me. Oh, yeah. God, I need some changes. God, I need alterations, please fix me. I need some changes. God, I need alterations, please fix me. I need some changes.
What is a critical conversation? Well, besides it being a conversation that needs to be had, a critical conversation also reveals important context, not only about ourselves, but other people in the larger world around us. These conversations educate as well as edify, heal, and entertain. Joy Latanya Harris Gooden, and she engages in critical conversations. What is a critical conversation? Well, besides it being a conversation that needs to be had, a critical conversation reveals important context, not only about ourselves, but also the larger world around us. It is these types of conversations that edify, entertain, as well as heal. Join Latoya Harris Gooden as she engages in critical conversations, right here on Trailblazers Radio. Trailblazers Radio has merch. Check out our website, www.trailblazersradio.com/shop to check out our store. You'll find an assortment of hoodies and t-shirts in various colors and sizes, as well as coffee mugs in various colors. Again, check out our website at www.trailblazersradio.com/shop to check out our merch. Thank you.
Hello, hello, and welcome back to our show. Good evening, everybody. It's Saturday. It's Small Business Saturday, and as you may or may not know, I am an entire independent paparazzi jewelry consultant, and we specialize in nickel and lead free jewelry. Most people know a lot about the $5 pieces, and that's really a big seller. But we also have the exclusive Z collection, the Bling of All Bling, our $25 collection, which you don't have to just wear to church. Okay, you can wear anywhere you want when you just want to be stand out-ish and blingish like that. So this particular month, speaking of Small Business Saturday, our promotion is when you purchase and join Paparazzi, purchasing our VIP pack, standing for Verified Influencer Pack, you get not only the standard 35 pieces of jewelry that you pick, the planner, the pin, the website, the wholesale pricing, but this month they're adding a free black vinyl jewelry tote that has clear pockets on the front, where as a consultant you can carry it with you and people can literally see some of the pieces that you sell. Is definitely an eye catcher. So when you're in the grocery store, when you're in the hairdresser, when you are at church or wherever you go, they'll see this bag with bling on it, and they'll ask you, how do I purchase that? What is that? And you can tell them about your business. So it's an excellent way to make extra money. We make 35 to 45% commission on our sales. The jewelry sales itself, anytime you see me on my podcast, I'm wearing paparazzi jewelry. On my live shows, wherever, even in the streets, honey, I am the billboard for my business. So I would love to have you on my team and have you become my business partner and team up with me and join the pink side. We have excellent training. We're able to build our own inventory, and you have your website that can ship out products for you. If you want to go that route, both ways get you paid. So I would love to have you on the team. I'll put my link in the comments. You can reach out to me. Would love to talk to you more about this opportunity. What else is going on? Monday. Oh my goodness. If you have not been tuning in to Monday Power Hour at 9:30 in the AM dial, you have been missing a treat. And we have partnered up with Andrew Griffin, Detroit area business owner, motivational speaker, mindset change enthusiast. He will be joining us every third Monday for 1 hour of power-packed mindset shift strategies, business acumen, budgeting, how to take control of your personal life, your business life. He is a wealth of knowledge. He also has an event space in the Detroit area. We'll be talking about and showcasing that. So I am so excited. So hello to you all. My CEO is in the room. Hello, good people. Thank you all for tuning in. We do appreciate all of your support for all of our shows, whether it's this one, whether it's sofa chat, whether it is check-in, Man Cave Conversations. We thank you for your support of the Trailblazers with the Z Radio Network. And yes, Power Hour has been absolutely powerful. And the reason why I like it on Monday is that's the beginning of the week. That's the day that the majority of corporate America hates the most, right? But is it not the perfect time to set up your week for absolute success? Me and this earring gonna argue today. For absolute success, and make sure that we are really setting our week up to where we're not overwhelmed. I talk a lot about being overwhelmed. Having anxiety means sometimes you really overload your to-do list, and the smallest things make you super, super nervous. But in Power Hour, we always have our calendars. We keep our calendar, and we talk about how do we strategize the must-dos, then the need to do, I kind of want to do. Some stuff is non-negotiable. If you work in corporate America and you got a day to pay payroll, you got to pay the people. You can't move that around. So some stuff you have to get done on a Monday. Then you may have some things that can kind of wait to Wednesday without messing you up. So we're going to learn how to make sure we are not inundating ourselves and having a clear level mind when it comes to our day to day, whether you are an hourly worker, salary worker, or entrepreneur, it doesn't matter. You can be retired. Time management is important for everyone. What are you doing with your time? How are you managing your time? That is incredibly important. Okay. So today's topic, when less is not best, why do we settle? What does settling look like? And as I've stated in the intro to the show, in the little description, the closer I get to 50 years old, the closer I get to this pivotal place in my life, I am looking at the fact that I did settle in a lot of areas in my life. I did second guess myself. I did make decisions based on fear and low self-esteem. Let me see if my boss want to come on the screen. He's in the studio right now. I did some things, and I put myself in some predicaments where I really could have done differently and showcased my own talent, but there was some fear and some hangups that made me kind of pull back. Settling can come. Hello, Mr. Beatty. Good evening, sir. Y'all welcome my CEO in the comments. Y'all welcome my CEO in the building. So we're talking
Hello,
about
hello, and
settling.
hello.
Good evening. I hope you've been having a good weekend, Mr. Beatty. How you feeling tonight?
Feeling good, feeling good.
You sounded
Looking
good.
forward to this time. Looking forward to this conversation.
No, this
Actually,
thing is about to be layered because I have just kind of come back from feeling under the weather. And when you're not feeling good and you're confined to your home, you have a lot of reflection time.
oh
If
yeah,
you will.
yeah.
So, and that could be a good thing and a bad thing. All depends on where you
Ooh.
allow your mind to go. So during this time frame, brother, I'm like, okay, I kept thinking about ever since we had that check-in show. And it was Steve Wade that brought up the word settling. And I said it,
Mhm.
I said right then, we got to dive into that word. And he even asked, why do women settle? And a lot of it has to do, and I said this, low self-esteem. Hello, Diana Womack. I got on my t-shirt. I got on my millionaire in training shirt. And Diana Washington Womack is our leader over the millionaires in training, baby. I got my shirt on, Mama Wowo. I got my shirt out. But when you settle as a woman, and we can tackle this angle first, and then we can kind of see where it goes. When you are in a relationship and you settle, a lot of that is rooted in fear. A lot of that is rooted in, I don't think I'll get any better than what I have today. I don't want to start over. This man may not be the best man, but he's my man and I know him. And it's not a lot that he can do to surprise me. He can be abusive physically, mentally. He could be causing you a lot of grief. He can be causing a lot of problems, but because he is familiar and there's longevity in that dysfunction, As women, we say, I just want to leave it where it is. I don't want to start over. And a lot of the settling can come from what you're being told. See, I was told as a younger woman, a big Black woman, you should be glad that I'm dealing with you, girl.
Oh
Look,
man.
look at your size. You cute in the face, but look at your size. You really ought to be glad that I'm even hollering at you. It's my pleasure, my Molo. I thank you for the support. You've been supporting me for down through the years. Love you dearly. I've been told that as a young woman.
Mm.
So then go back before that. I was told that as a kid. You fat, you dark skinned, and you got a whole Jerry curl. What we gonna do with you?
What they got to do with anything?
But I'm telling you, I'm telling you, brother, you'll be amazed at some of the things that people say. And a grown men told me, and let me just tell you this. This is why those of you who like online dating, let me tell you why it gets on my nerves. You can spend all these days, weeks, months talking on the phone with somebody, and they will fall in love with your voice unless they know how you look. See, we didn't have FaceTiming and cell phone pictures and stuff back in, and when online dating is not totally new. It started out as an old school chat line. I mentioned that before on a previous show. This is not really 100% new. It's just more modern and more technical. But we've been talking to people on the phone, chit-chatting it up for decades. Okay. So in my earlier years, 18, 19, 20, 21, and in that range, you meet people over the phone. And instead of meeting right away, you have all this conversation. Oh, we talking. And under normal circumstances, I would say talking is good. But here's where talking can go wrong. When you don't know how the person looks, your imagination is going to create a mental picture of what that person looks like. Okay. Now, I've been told, I ain't trying to be arrogant or flex or nothing, but I have been told that I have a pretty nice speaking voice. So I will come into the mix saying, let me tell you now, you might be envisioning Halle Berry, but I'm more like Freddie B. Run Stubbs, Fred Berry. Okay. I don't want you to be saying all this, oh, you sound so cute. Oh, you this. And I ain't saying I was ugly, but I hated when dudes would have this mental picture. Oh, you gotta be light skinned, you gotta be 108.2 pounds, you gotta be long hair. No, that's the exact opposite of me, sir. Well, when you say big, you mean big like Queen Latifah, or big like Monique, or big like what? So I will automatically overestimate my size. I would go, no, like Nell Carter, to see who the real BBW lovers were. I would rather overestimate my size than under. So we just talking. They in love. Oh, you sound so beautiful. I can't wait to see you. Oh, I'm in love. They dropping the love bomb on me. You don't even know me. You are in love with a voice. Girl 6. They see me as girl 6. It's a voice. So you finally meet. Okay. Hey, cousin Kenyatta, you finally meet. And the first thing out of a couple of the mouth was, you wasn't lying about being fat. I really want to use the N word, but I'm not. Person who lies about being fat. I told you I was a big woman. Who lies about that? Well, I mean, your voice. I'm not breathing hard like Jabba the Hutt. I told you I was a big girl. So now you're going to have me feeling all like I'm nothing. I didn't talk to you all this time. And you didn't, oh, you in love. We planning futures, and we planning trips, and we planning weddings. Only to be told your size is the problem. Your conversation is on point. You sound beautiful. You're smart. Brilliant. But your size is not it for me. But I told you. So, and then they would start saying, well, you should kind of be, if I do talk to you, you should be glad. Because the average dude ain't gonna deal with no big girl. See, back in the 80s, see y'all, they loving the big girls now. But back in and the big brothers had the nerve. Attention, big guys. How you gonna act up with a big girl and you big your darn self? Where they do that at? You big, but you got the nerve to be choosy. Come on here. Even the big dudes was like, nah, she too big for me. We'll start a forest fire. I mean, I'm just saying. We set the stage. We set the stage. So if you're told from childhood to semi-young adulthood to adulthood that you should be willing to accept anybody because of your looks, you will start to subscribe to that if you're not careful. I'm just telling you the truth. Is it right?
I know.
It ain't right. But I have to admit, a lot of that is still ruminating sometimes in my mind. Even when I got married and I have a husband who adored me, who was very pleased with my plumpness. He had no qualms about it. But that didn't take away my self-esteem issues or my body image issues on any given day.
No,
you gotta
right.
believe in yourself as a woman or as a human being. If you don't see your beauty, people can compliment you. I know people who are drop dead gorgeous. I mean, flawless. And they would tell you they don't see it. They could be on magazine covers gorgeous. I mean, just skin flawless, hair, everything just in its place. But if that person does not believe in their heart of hearts that they are fearfully and wonderfully made by an almighty God, they will always settle for second best, less than crumbs at the table. We settle because of our mindset, whether it's from childhood trauma, whether it's from people making fun of your smartness. Nerds got made fun of for being smart. The whole
I remember that. I remember that.
The whole Urkel thing. People look like Steve Urkel. Smart, different, eccentric. Bullying. You may think that maybe the popular opinion is that we should be over it by now at almost 50. Okay, I'll let you have it. But unless you are really processing through trauma, moving past trauma and rooted and grounded in God and in prayer and surrounded by people who are loving and that care for you and really have a good community, that stuff could literally be still sitting in your chest like a chest cold. I receive all kinds of compliments and I appreciate them. But there are times I don't see or feel what they see. And that sets me back. And then you got to rebuild. It's like when you've been going to work out, you love to work out, bro. And you've been working out and it's toning up for so long. And then you stop cold turkey. And then like, dang, I ain't going to go today. I'll start next month. I'll start on May 1st. May 1st come, I'll start June 10th. It's hard to get that momentum back. That's how it is with self-esteem to me. You can be feeling so good and something somebody says or does, or you put on a dress that used to fit you right and it's too small. A lot of us got COVID weight that we put on because we wasn't going outside as much. And that junk can mentally set you back. And you got to rebuild up to that point of loving yourself again. We're talking about settling. I'm going somewhere. But I just want to set the foundation that there is a psychological phenomenon that's happening in our minds when we settle.
Yeah.
There's something deeper going on when you know you walk into a meeting at work and you sit at the table and discussion is going on, and this is what you know, this is your bread and butter, you know, this kind of stuff. But you sit back and you kind of digress, because what are they going to say if I say something? They may not
Right.
like me speaking up. They may not feel comfortable with what I have to say. But if you know what you know, why wouldn't you speak up and say something? That's your job. And if you can prevent disaster from happening or help the team, why wouldn't you? But we don't, because of fear of what other people are going to say. And in some employment environments, they make you feel funny about what you know. Instead of saying, "Oh, I'm glad LHG is on our team. She's a wealth of knowledge." You get the side eye. Why is she even in this meeting? I didn't see her. I didn't see her on the invite. Who invited her to the table? So you settle for this background part when really
Hmm.
it's your season to be in the forefront, because God has anointed you, whether it's corporate. There can be a corporate anointing on you. You can be anointed to go into the marketplace and bring about change. You could be anointed in the ministry in church too, and in the streets. But if you are so fearful of failure, that's one thing right there. If I say something, what if someone disagrees with me? Or I may
Yeah.
say something and make a mistake. Well, so what? So what if you make a mistake? I would rather go ahead and just step out there. Even in school, I remember feeling like, man, I think I got the answer, but if it's wrong, they gonna laugh at me. We talking about settling. You can't live life like that, bro. I feel like we have stifled ourselves.
Purposefully and not purposefully.
Come on with
So I
it.
think we so I think we settle for certain things inadvertently, but also purposefully.
Okay.
And I think I can and I think when we settle for things inadvertently, it's and again, we're still talking about a mindset thing
Yes.
because it's something that you've been used to dealing with or used to an experience that you're used to experiencing for a while, then
Yes.
we get into that pattern of saying, okay, this is
Mm.
all I'm good for. So
Come on.
this is what I'm gonna take, or this is what I'm going to accept. And that's the that's kind of the constant thing. The inadvertent part comes when we I think when we expose ourselves to different situations and experiences. Like it's something that's foreign to us
Right.
and we want to venture out into it and
Mhm.
make it our own, but then you have that fear of failure that comes across, and all of a sudden,
Yeah.
wow, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm good enough to do this. And
Right.
that's the inadvertent part of it because especially if you know for a fact, especially if you this is something like this is your thing, or you feel like
Mhm.
you're confident enough to do it.
Yeah.
You feel confident and you feel and you're first of all, you're brave enough to do it, but you also feel confident enough in your mind and in your heart and in your spirit to do it. And then
Yeah.
you don't do it, then now you're settling for just kind of I won't say mediocrity, but I'll say just
Kinda, sorta.
for well, you're settling for not taking a chance
Yep.
on your abilities or your talents.
Yeah.
And knowing that you have the ability and the talent to do it. I mean,
Yes.
we settle for a lot of things, mostly in it's mostly in relationships. And I can say that for a fact. I can say that for absolute fact that I think after the first couple of years of I won't say a couple of years, the first maybe 5 or 6 years of my marriage, everything was cool. Everything was wonderful.
Mhm.
Everything was great.
Uh-huh.
And then, certain things start happening.
Mm.
Um, certain things start happening. Um, I lost my son. She
Yeah.
lost her father.
Ooh, wait.
That changed the dynamic of things.
Right.
And then now we're both just settling for just living and just being in the moment and not being with each other. We're settling for separation and chaos and dysfunction, and not togetherness and unity and solidarity.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes when we do that, when we settle for those types of things, because after a while it becomes a norm,
It
and
does. That's the thing. When you settle for so long, you're like,
it
okay,
be-
well,
it's the
you know,
norm. It's
yeah,
almost like you don't pay attention to it,
that's right.
and
But it still hurts though.
yeah.
It
But
still hurts.
then we both settled for, you know, and I can say, I won't say this. I can't say this for her, but I can say it for me. I think
Mhm.
I settled for just settle for being talked down to, because I thought that
Wow.
was how this person
Wow.
was supposed to talk to me. Well, don't yell
Yeesh.
at me. Well, I talk loud. Well, that's still yelling. You know what I mean? And again, this is not to disparage my ex-wife, because it's not to being disparaged. I'm just putting out there to make a point. To kind of put something out there so everybody can understand that when we settle for things, it's here. First of all, it's here. It starts here, but then
Yep.
it permeates down to the heart and to the soul, because now it
Yep.
gets to the point to where now we just feel like we're not able to do anything. We're not
Wow.
able to we're not able to do anything, or we're not able to be anything. We're
Mhm.
not able to achieve anything, because we feel that this is our pinnacle.
Yep.
This is our pinnacle. This is our top. This is the rank this is the only rank we know we can achieve. And we don't want to go. We don't want to break that. We don't want to break the glass or break the wall to see if there's anything else out there.
And why should
Because
we limit our happiness in life? Why do we choose to do that? It's like for example, in corporate America, you only gonna make so much money based on the job you do. They tell you
right,
that. You can start at this rate, and the cap is this. I don't care how hard you work. I don't care if you bust your butt. This is it. But of course, in entrepreneurism, you can make a zero, or you can bust your butt, and the sky's the limit. Why do we accept limits even when it comes to love and relationship? Why do we accept that? Even when you said you're yelling at me, I talk loud. The middle ground is be careful how you speak to your spouse. I
mhm,
naturally talk loud, and that could kind of be misconstrued as yelling. I've been told that before. Yeah,
mhm.
yeah. So I have to watch not only the tone, but the choice of words as well.
And I think we settle because of a lot of it is mostly just past experiences.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because if we failed in this one thing and we try to do that thing again and we fail again, now we automatically put a block or a limit on it, because we didn't fail twice at it. But the way I look at it in this point is, you're if you try the same thing and you fail a hundred times, and
Mm-hmm.
it only takes one time to be successful, right? Only takes
Right,
one time to get it right. So you can fail a
right.
hundred times and then get it right the 101st time.
Yes, yes,
That should
exactly.
that's something that's celebrated. I think the one thing I think we don't do anymore is that we don't. I think settling is also kind of a form of, well, I won't even say it's a kind of, or it's selling is a form of, disrespect to yourself. Because if
Mm,
you know that you are better, and you know that you can be better, but yet especially when it comes to corporate America and jobs, we settle for these jobs that we take them because we need the money.
we need the money. We can be honest about that. Yeah.
We take it because of the one thing we all need the money for it.
Mhm.
But then we limit ourselves by the quote unquote earning potential, or
Yes.
we limit ourselves because now we're just limited to the wall, to that particular wall. You're stuck in this customer service representative job, and you know that there's not going to be any chance for advancement
Hmm.
at all.
Hmm.
And you know you're not going to get a raise. You may get a raise, but you're not going to be advanced. And if you do get advanced, it's
Hmm.
only going to be a lateral move.
Right. Right.
And I think a lot of people settle for the lateral moves because, in a way, I guess in a way it's for them to justify, okay, I moved, but it's a way to justify them. I moved, not upward, but laterally. I mean, so we settle for it because we move. I've been here for such and such a time,
Right.
and I'm just happy. I've been here for 20 years, and I'm just
Mhm.
glad that I moved.
But let's talk about that since we landed back on corporate America. And everybody's corporate experience is different. Let me put that
Right.
disclaimer and kind of preface it with, you may absolutely love your job, be making wonderful money, and you give God all the praise and glory on the way to work. You're whistling, you're singing, and that's good. Praise God for
Right.
your power to the people. But for the rest of the population who has found themselves in a job where they may have liked the job, but the nuances around it, the politics within it, the leadership therein causes it to
Hmm.
become very difficult to go to every day. Been there and done that.
Oh yeah.
So if you spend so much time in an environment where you are belittled, I'll put that as an example. If you have a leader that is constantly on you about every little minuscule comma and period and spacing in an email, and just nitpicking, and it's blatant that they're doing that to you and nobody else, why would you settle for that and not ask for a meeting with them? For one, have a meeting with them and say, I don't like when you do blank. Start there. Two, if it doesn't get better, who's their boss? Schedule a meeting with them. I tell you why, we scared. Well, if I say anything, then they
I can
might
get fired.
retaliate. But they not. But that's what HR is for. You should be able to take whatever grievances you have to your first level, next level, whatever, without retaliation. And even if the HR department acting a fool, there's organizations, the EEOC or the Labor Commission,
Hmm.
whatever. Why don't we hold people accountable in corporate America? The reason why they do some of the crap that they do is because we've settled for it.
We allow it.
We've allowed them to treat us like nothing. And again, that may
Hmm.
not be your testimony.
Nope.
But if anybody can relate to that, where you've come to a job faithfully, cutting the lights on in the morning, cutting them off in the evening, working through break, working through lunch, volunteering for projects over and beyond, way over and so far beyond,
Hmm.
to not ever be even acknowledged for what you do, less known the extra stuff you do that they probably don't even see and can't even afford to pay you for. Cousin Kenyatta, I know you my amen corner this afternoon. But when you allow that, y'all, when you don't, I'm not saying go in there and kick the person's door in and put Vaseline on and come in Rambo style. I'm not saying that. That will get you fired and prosecuted. You black too. You trying to, yeah, we got a problem. I'm saying there are processes and procedures in place when you have a grievance. I don't care if you work at the local Checkers hamburger joint. I don't care if you flip burgers or flip houses. There's stuff in place that's
Hmm.
supposed to help govern us and having a non-hostile environment. Why do we not move into that level and start fighting some of this stuff? Why do we
But
settle for poor treatment?
but you know what though? You bring up an interesting point with that, and there's a caveat with that. There's a
Okay,
very strong caveat with that,
okay, let's go.
and I think it goes to not only just corporate America, but also think it also I think if we're gonna talk about it from that the selling part from that instance, I think it also can extend to the justice system as well. I mean, not to bring
Mm,
it there,
mm,
not to bring it there,
all
but
right,
since we've arrived there,
we've arrived.
it's we settle for it because there's also a lack of distrust with the system.
Yes.
We distrust the system. Why would you trust a system that is
We are.
constantly going to be, yeah, the odds are always going to be in their favor? Why, why would you trust a system
Yeah.
where you're playing with house money and the house is always gonna win?
Wow.
So we're talking about settling, most of that comes from, well, with corporate America, but all going to extend it to the justice system, but also other aspects of this. There's a grand dislike for the system, how it operates for certain people, how it
Yeah.
operates against certain people, how certain people get preferential treatment, how other people do not do not get that treatment. So sometimes when you're not being treated fairly, or you're not being treated equitably, or if you're just being treated just blatant, you're just blatantly disrespected and
Mm,
not respected as a person or entity or anything of that nature, or even in the point where, and I'll even preface this with my son's death,
mm-hmm,
to where I got no answers from nobody,
mm,
no answers from DA, the Commonwealth Attorney, police chief, none of that. When you feel like you being when someone's not being attentive to you or
yeah,
not being sensitive to what you need or what you're feeling, or trying, or at least to the very least trying to understand or form some, or at least start the communication process
yeah, that
to
hurts.
where it can be at least be understood.
Acknowledged.
And not and in most
I mean,
cases,
jeez.
there we go. You know what I'm saying? It's when and we settle for that because of the distrust in the system. Because
Mm-hmm,
I'm not gonna trust this system to do anything for me.
mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna just settle for whatever outcome I get.
Wow, wow.
And then,
I want
and
to mark.
that goes to a lot of folks who, and again, this is not to disparage anyone
Mhm.
who been involved in anything like that,
Yeah.
anything of that nature. But what? And this is just a question. Why do you think that most cities or counties or municipalities, especially when it comes to these types of instances, police involved violence or things of that nature, why do you think these counties and these cities settle with the families? Think
Mm.
about that.
They don't want no more exposure than what they already have.
True.
Settlement, those kind of settlements, I always get perplexed. I want to welcome, I think it's pronounced Shelley's View. I could say it wrong. I apologize, but welcome. Thank you for your comment. Fear, fear, and fear. Cousin says sometimes the whole system is corrupt. Throw the whole system away. Throw the whole system.
Mhm.
But when you look at stuff like that, when cases are settled like that, I used to always think, and maybe I still do, it was an assumption of guilt. But sometimes it's cheaper for them to just, okay, thank you, I said it right. It's cheaper for them to just pay it and just do away with it,
Mhm.
to not go deeper. Because and some people don't want to settle. They want to go as far down the road into trial as they can, because they don't even care about the money at that point. They want to expose a corrupt system. Thank you. I
Or
appreciate that.
they want true what they feel is true justice. And
True
eh,
justice, meaning, okay, don't just shoot me away with a couple $1,000,000. I want the whole system exposed from the
yeah.
rooter to the tutor, because so much has been happening, whether you're talking about corporate America, corrupt systems, or justice systems. So much has been happening because we've settled for so much. The system has become stronger and stronger and stronger, like concrete, because people
Mhm.
are afraid to fight and afraid to challenge it. Now, here is the cost of challenge. It's a corrupt system. I'm gonna go back to corporate America. I can see myself now 22 years ago, fresh into this new company. I came in working my tail off. I had a plan. I had a career plan. I get in here, I'm on the phones. Those of you who have been in call centers, it ain't for everybody. You are tethered
Mm-mm.
to a phone system. When you gotta pee, you gotta hit the button, and they only gave you 10 minutes of personal time. Personal mean bathroom time. Now I don't know about you. You eat a good lunch and drink a good cup of water. What goes in must come out, and sometimes 10 minutes won't suffice.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So you better go to the bathroom on your break. So you are tethered to a phone. You are taking phone calls all day long. Some days are busier than others. Monday was the worst. So when
Always the
you
worst.
finish your phone call, when the phone call is done and a customer is gone, you have what's called ACW. It stands for after call work. Okay. It's the stuff that you do to wrap up the call. Yes, the green light, the green light. Y'all got teams now. See, we ain't had teams 20 years ago. We was the team. Locked and loaded. Headset, computer, sit in your seat. Okay. So when the call is over and you go into this mode called after call work, all right, you're putting in your documentation. When you will hope that when you call the company, don't you want them to document your file? Yes, we got training to do that. So you're putting in information, you're making whatever follow-up phone calls you got to make. You are wrapping up that customer's experience. They're gone, but you're making sure what you said you would do, you do it. But you got somebody watching you, okay? And they're saying, what's taking you so long, Latanya? Well, I had a complicated call. I had to do a tow. I had to set up a rental car. I had to make sure the customer, they lost their keys. So I had to get them transferred over here. It's called after call work because it's work after the call. I'm going somewhere, saints and friends. So you owe me about my time, okay? I got into the meeting one day. I said, I got a question. Y'all preach customer service. Y'all preach thoroughness. Y'all preach one-stop shop. Don't hand it off if you can help it. Y'all preach get this customer taken care of. Y'all preach customer satisfaction. Y'all preach get in here and do the dang on thing. But you're hovering over me like a dang on dragon.
Micromanaging.
Which one do you want? Do you want fast or do you want efficient? Okay. Do you want quality? Come on. That's it right there. Do you want quality or do you want quantity? If you want me to take 200 calls a day and 189 of them is wrong, I would win the award for having the most calls. But why?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to reward me because somebody else had to go behind me and fix all 189 of them. So in the meeting, I raised my hand. Let me tell you what the cost is to challenge a corrupt system. You just might be seen as a troublemaker.
Upstart.
Let me get some water. Hold on.
Upstart.
They might label you as a rebel rouser. Okay? Yeah. First call resolution was exactly what they called it, Kenyatta. You are the first line of connection. Finish it. Mortal Kombat, finish it. But then when I come in with my skill and my finesse, and that customer is loving on me, they like, girl, you the bomb.com. And I'm putting in my document. Now, I believe in thorough documentation. I train this stuff in corporate America. When you read my notes, you should not be like, what is, can y'all, what? No, when you read my notes, you know what's happening, what the call was about, what I did, and what need to be done. But you coming down on me about my time, but you can eat on my stuff. So I said, question, managers, do we all know what ACW stands for? Just can we? You do know what it stands for. After call, there is work. So I'm gonna need y'all to back up just a little bit because many of us, are actually working after the call. Now, if you see me across the room asking my coworker where she want her pizza in the after call work, you got a right to come tap me on my shoulder. But if you come by my desk and you see what I'm doing, you see what applications I'm in, why are you on me like that? But when you don't step up and stand up for yourself, I'm talking to y'all who may be dealing with this right now. You can professionally say in the meetings, in the huddles, I do have a problem with how y'all treating us. Because all of us ain't slackers. You know who your stars are. You know who's carrying you and who's dragging you. So don't put me up in there and got me feeling all funny about what I do, knowing that I do what I do. First of all, I do it as unto the Lord. Can we get an amen for Jesus Christ in here?
Mm-hmm.
I spent 25 plus years taking phone calls in and out of different departments. I learned to love it. And let me tell you why. I love problem solving. I love when somebody calls me with a problem at 7:15 and by 7:30, I have pretty much solved it. I thrived off that. They will be so excited. You just don't know how much you've helped me, Tanya. You made me renew my policy because I was wondering what I was paying for. But because you helped me, I thrive on that. But what if nobody ever stood up to the powers that be? You got to be willing to be that rebel rouser. What you gonna do to me? My stuff was tight. My work was tight. I ain't trying to brag. What you gonna do to me? I want my attendance, baby. I didn't call off. If I called off, the rapture then came, and y'all still here. Okay, that's how I work. So when you decide you tired of settling, you're gonna have to have a thick skin. Okay. See, cousin Kia know what I'm talking about. We love problem solving. We love getting in the meat of stuff and researching and pulling up this screen and pulling up that screen. I love that kind of stuff. Love it. But just know it's good trouble. There it is. When you are standing up for yourself, whether it be in a relationship, in the workplace, in a ministry, wherever you find, in the justice system, when you know that you have done your due diligence, you've come to work when you're supposed to, you're in your seat when you're supposed to, you don't abuse breaking lunch, you don't abuse personal time, you wearing a dang on depend, you don't go to the bathroom, you got on a whole depend, so you ain't gotta go pee. You that loyal, okay? But until you get that tough skin, they're gonna keep coming at us. Y'all gotta unite. We got a comment. It says the cost of challenging a corrupt system. Yes, number one, you are looked at as a problem or a renegade. When I stood up in that meeting, let me tell you the real cost of it. When they left that meeting, I want to finish that for you. That's a good comment, and then I'll comment after. 2 is you're going to be the one constantly in the crosshairs of those you've challenged. That's my next point. 3, you'll be put in situations to fail. And 4, those who you've challenged will find a way to get rid of you. Here is my story on all of that. When I stood up in that meeting, you immediately get the attention of the big wigs. Who is that? What's her name? How's her attendance? How's her status? She a troublemaker, because if she start talking to them and get them riled up, we got a problem. How we neutralize her? Okay? Be prepared for that. So here's how they got me. Out of all the calls I took, baby, you can eat your egg off my stuff and not choke on no lint. That stuff was clean as a whistle. All right? How they got me was when it came down to the schedules. We used to have what was called a shift bid, where you would have all these shifts and you had to bid on them. And depending on how your stats were, stats meaning your after call work time, your personal time usage, the calls you take, whatever, accuracy, all that kind of stuff. Depending on what your stats look like, you would get to bid first and get the best shift. So here's how they got me. Knowing that my numbers was the highest in the center, they put out a poll. Would you consider rotating Saturdays? Oh, rotating? That sounds fair. Why should somebody get stuck with working every Saturday? Even if their stats not that great, they want to go out and have a good time with their family. I would consider rotating. Because I said yes to that poll, they stuck me with a bold shift.
Oh, yeah. They gonna do you.
Stats was
gonna
tight.
do you dirty.
Stats was tight. They said, well, because you said that you would rotate, we gave you. How in the world, if my stuff better than anybody across both of these centers, that I work 3 to 11:30 at night? How? That was
because you answered that one thing,
and
they figured that was the thing. That was the thing they imagined or thought that it was going to push you out the door, and because they put you on, man.
It did, because guess what? The evening shift came with shift premium. Baby, you just patted my pockets. Thank God for my family who kept my baby. I worked that late shift. First of all, we got less calls in the evening and made more money. By the shift being so late, we got an extra 15% per hour. What the devil mean for evil? I'm telling you, gotta turn that thing around for good. The rebel rouser, I worked that shift. I sure did. I made my money. I sure did. I sure did. And now the first thing I thought about though, y'all, I'm telling you, cousin Kenyatta, I've seen God use some stuff. They were trying to get rid of me and make me want to quit. And I'm not saying I didn't want to, but I didn't want to give them the satisfaction. But what I will say in all honesty, to retaliate, I want to tell you, don't put nobody with me to mentor. Don't come to me to train nobody. Don't ask me to write no job material. I was so close.
Ain't doing it.
But I did do it. I'm gonna tell you why. I wasn't giving them no ammunition against me. Be careful when you stand up to people and they're watching you. You got to be so careful with your movements. One wrong move. Oh, see, I see it. She ain't got no real leadership capabilities. See how she changing now. She mad. She in her feelings. Nope. At first, I was going out applying for all other kind of jobs. Fred, I'm gonna be honest, I was mad. How you gonna trip me up into this bold shift? But I had to think about it. When they want you out, they will stop at nothing to back you in a corner. You gotta be strategic. You gotta confuse the enemy. It's just how they say in the Bible, it says, if you resist the devil, he'll flee from you. Because you confuse him. How you praising God in the midst of that storm? I'm confused. You should be broke, disgusted, and crying and kicking, and you over here giving God the most radical praise. Baby, I had to go spiritual. I'm sorry. That's who I am. But I had to be smart. When you stop settling for stuff, you're gonna ruffle some feathers. You're going to have the spotlight on you. That means your stuff got to be clean. You can't be late to work and complain about stuff. You can't be calling off. You can't be slacking and then want to be part of the rebel rouser team. No. We confuse them, cousin Kenyatta. And you confuse people. You confuse the people who work for the devil. When they think, oh, she going to quit now because she mad. She going to quit now. No. I kept on working that bold shift, but making my good shift premium. Yeah, I miss having my baby in the evening when she come home from school, helping with homework. I had to have my daughters live with my parents, basically, because I wasn't going to go pick her up at midnight and drag her home. We had to do a lot of shifting because of that. But again, it worked out because I had a strong support unit. I made my money. I met different people working that shift. Come on.
Look.
I met some of my best people I still have now working the late shift. Come on. When you have the Lord on your side, go ahead, bro.
I think what people get messed up or confused is that a cornered animal is a dangerous animal.
Listen. You see?
If you're gonna put me in a corner,
nunchucks, baby.
You're gonna put me in a corner, I'm gonna fight, but I'm gonna fight with the right strategy.
That's the key. And you have to be careful as a Black woman. We are already the angry Black women as soon as we even ask a question. That's the label. Oh, she's angry. She's Black and she's angry and she's fat. Take cover. Hurricane Katrina Part 2. We don't like her. We don't like her. We don't like her.
Why would somebody want to take cover from a question?
They don't, because I've learned that in some corporate situations, they take questions as combativeness. No. The last time I checked, when I became a leader, a manager, or supervisor, my job description says I am supposed to support the department, meaning if I have suggestions, ideas, concerns, it's my job to bring them to the table. So now you're mad because I don't just say, okay, to everything you bring to me. No, that don't make sense. Let's talk about it. Where's the whiteboard? I am the person who loves the whiteboard. Let's whiteboard the idea. Let's flow chart it out. Let's talk about it, because they love to make these decisions in high places. and don't ask the folks who do the job. And then we end up struggling with it. No, no, no. Not on my watch. I'm not that kind of I'm not a settler in that respect. I got questions. Questions.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
sorry. I
But
got
all
more
but the
questions.
moment you ask the question, oh well, she's combative. No, I'm
Yes.
asking a question. It
And,
makes
and
I'm
that
asking a
that
question
was
because I
happening
got
to me
legitimate
a lot.
concerns.
And I'm supposed to be able to ask questions. It's just like, and I hate to bring this part into it, but think about child rearing and child raising.
Mm.
Back in the 80s, ask a question and see don't you get smacked back into your mama's womb. Question. What question you got?
Mm-hmm.
Kids didn't have a voice. Mama, I got a question about why am I on punishment? Because I said so. Mama, I got a question because you
Well, they ain't
said
answer.
that I shouldn't do this, but you do it. Smack. People don't like questions. But I'll tell you what questions do. Sometimes questions expose the fact the people making the big money don't know jack.
Mm-mm. Not a
They're
thing.
making 6 figures plus to pull everything out of you and get the credit for it.
Oh yeah.
So questions will make me become the smart one. We don't want her asking questions because she knows too much. Utilize her. Get her out of here. Get her out of here. Get her out of here. We got a comment here. Sometimes some of your coworkers will say, "Oh, here she go asking." That was me. That was me. Here she go asking a question, while others will thank you for saying what you said because they were afraid.
Exactly.
See, here is the. I'm so glad you said that. And here is the other part of standing up for yourself. You got the people who are saying, "Here she go," but them same people come back. I'm glad you said something, girl, because I was thinking that. And then you become the union steward. Now they want to give you a list of questions. No, no, no,
No, no, no, no, no. That's your own. That's your
no.
own dad burn question.
We in the whole meeting. You ask your own questions. You're gonna have me in the hot seat and you over here kissing tail. No, I've had that happen. Tell Tanya to ask this. Don't tell me, Jack. I got my own. No, it's every man for themselves out here, honey.
If I'm asking a question,
No.
it's gonna be for my own personal knowledge. But
Yes.
also if they ask a question,
Yes.
if they answer the question, it's gonna be for everybody to understand.
And get this, we used to have what was called town hall meetings. Now, in my head, a town hall meeting is a meeting for the town, to express their, likes,
Nah.
dislikes, just like you would have in a government situation or a city or state situation. Town hall, bring in the town, like a city council meeting, bring in the citizens, and let's talk about what's going on. That's a joke. When they have those
Them
meetings
meetings
in
are
corporate America,
oh man.
sometimes they want to sit there and tell you and dictate to you, but they say, "Why we have time for questions?" They would tell us before we get there, "Don't ask no questions. Ask us your questions." Huh?
Huh?
Are you telling me when I get to the meeting, when you go down to that meeting, don't be asking no questions? We want your questions before you go asking them. No,
No.
no,
Ain't that the reason for the town hall
no.
meeting?
No, I shouldn't have to give you my question for you to scream my question. I'm a part of the town and I'm in the hall. So the town hall meeting is for me, a town citizen, to express my disdain or whatever to whoever's at the microphone. We got a
Yep.
comment. People with less experience get promoted. Come on. But when you have the experience, you don't really get the promotion because you speaking up. You are
Yep.
seen as a threat. But
The
guess what?
biggest one.
Care. I don't care. See me how you see me. I will always keep it professional. One thing about me, I talk my junk at home when I get to my family. But when I'm at work, I'm gonna keep it professional. I'm gonna keep it 100% diplomatic. However I feel is how I feel. You gotta do that because they'll get you caught up on something else. We are already charismatic people culturally. I talk with
Yep.
my hands, as you can see. I do. This scares them. This right here. The hand movements,
Well, that's an immediate threat.
they can't stand that. Why is she doing that? I'm feeling uneasy. Is anybody else feeling uneasy? I feel
It's called nonverbal communication.
come on. Come
We
on.
all do it. This ain't nothing new. This ain't nothing new under the sun. Don't feel threatened by it.
And don't have a little bit of passion in your voice. I was told to temper my passion. That was the biggest thing. Let me tell. Ooh, wait,
What?
we're
Oh
gonna get
God.
somewhere. You don't have to temper your passion when you're in these meetings. Temper your passion because it comes across as if you know more than them and you're making people feel uncomfortable. How about y'all get some dang on passion?
I don't care.
If y'all had some passion, we can run this department and make things work cohesively. That's the problem. Ain't
Temper
nobody
my
dang on passion.
passion. Eh? No, I don't
Yes,
care.
temper your. First of all,
Look,
anything I put my name on or my hands to, I'm going to automatically bring my passion. I don't touch it if I can't be passionate about it. That's just who I am to the white meat.
so you asking me to
If I'm,
dial myself down
yes, come
on
on,
account of
settle.
not
That's called
looking
settling.
somebody look bad?
Is that not settling, bro?
It is.
So I got
I
I can
no
tell
no
back
no
and
no no no
settle
no no
so
no.
everybody else at the table can feel comfortable. When I know good and well this is not right what we're doing in this room.
Oh yeah,
They don't want to
we
come to
do
the
that.
meet. They don't want to come in the room to figure stuff out and to fix stuff. People just love to have meetings just to have meetings. If you're gonna drag me from my desk and from my work for 2 or 3 hours, we may as well talk about the doggone thing. I got questions. And I come in with my whole notebook. Question number 1. They're like, oh God, oh God, oh God.
Okay, we
I was that
we
person.
gonna be here a while. We gonna be
I
here a
was that
while.
person. Shelly's view. I was that person. Here she come with her notebook. Jesus, we ain't gonna get out of here till tomorrow.
You know what my thought process would be when the moment you ask a question, I was like, okay, cool, we gonna
Well,
be here a
I'm not
while.
leaving here without clarity. I'm not leaving here. See, y'all leave a meeting and be confused. We gotta have another meeting. Why? Why? I'm not
Was it not
leaving
clear to
here
y'all?
until I understand. I'm not. That's why I talk about on my page. I put a post about there. If you don't like questions, you don't like me. Even when you're dating, come on. Why would you settle for every time Dick and Harry to tell you how cute you are or how your wagon is dragging, and you don't even know what they're all about? You ask so many questions. You talk too much. Just lay down. What?
Look, no. I got questions.
I got
I got a whole bunch
questions.
of questions. I got a whole bunch of questions. I got a notebook full of them.
Come on. I'm not out here to just be doing stuff just to be doing it. I'm almost 50 years old, and this has been my way for most of my life. When I come into a job, I'm the one to come into an interview and ask y'all questions. I'm that girl. Well, what is the advancement opportunity in this job? And what is the most difficult part of the job? And what is the operations day to day of the job? When they get through with me, I'd interview them. That's Latanya Harris Gooden.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm interested. I'm invested.
But
Questions
most people that
me, I'm
settle,
thinking.
but when we settle, we've lost interest. We've lost we lost investment.
That's it. If I don't ask no questions, I done lost interest. I done tuned you out, and
When we
I'm waiting
settle
on
for
my
what we
chicken
have,
wings.
when it comes to especially when it
Oh,
comes to our interpersonal relationships with people, when we settle, that
yeah,
means I don't have any interest. I don't want to ask
none.
no questions. I ain't trying to. I don't want you to ask me no questions. I'm just here for the simple fact of we both got needs and we trying to fulfill them.
But
And
let's go there because the article I have talked about what happens when you settle in a relationship. Okay, this article is called "How Settling is Ruining Your Life." Since you opened the door, Brother Fred, let's go. Your relationship won't last. I'm reading it verbatim. Your relationship won't last because if you're settling, it will eventually catch up with you.
yeah,
Settling means you ain't even happy. You
right.
you get a little bit more resentful every day you settle. You may think you're good for a minute, but every time you look at them like, dang, I don't even like you. But you here, so whatever, what's for dinner? The next day, dang, it's you again. So you might think having a man having somebody. Well, I just want to have somebody. That's cute for the pictures. It's cute for the likes. It's cute for the shares. That's cute, whatever. But if you settle for the wrong person, it ain't gonna last no way, or you're gonna be freaking miserable while you're dealing with it.
Destructive.
Totally. Totally. They say if you can't be with the one you love the one you with.
Ooh. Look at this. Look at this comment right here. Look at this comment right here, sis.
Oh,
You become roommates.
Roommates.
And when you get into that roommate situation,
not lovers, roommates. So how I look married to you, and we roommates in this house. Now the world thinks that, oh, what a beautiful couple. What a beautiful, they're just so cute. They're just so I could just kiss them.
But we going through hellfire and brimstone in the house.
Listen, come on. In the car. Can't even get in the house.
Can't even have a conversation without turning into an argument.
Come on. And it goes back to the dating process. It goes back to, what are you doing with the data collecting time period to see who is this? Now I hear people saying people change. Yeah, but sometimes them red flags, them red comforts, them red curtains, them red sheets was already there. But you settled.
They already
turn the blind eye. Yeah, I understand. People do change. I get it. People can literally create a whole facade and have you thinking they are the best thing since sliced bread with a good piece of Kobe Jack on it. Yeah.
Look, gotta be better about that intelligence gathering process, peoples.
Change is growth, but we don't like to grow. We
don't. Oh Lord,
my mercy. And a lot of times when we get in a rut in a relationship, I don't want to start over. But you're going through hell in it.
May as well.
You'd rather go through hell with this person because you've been with them for 20 years than the prospects of starting over with a better suited person because y'all want to change. Now, I ain't telling y'all to go out and leave y'all spouses. But if y'all ain't both willing to do the work, what work, LHG? Whatever it's going to take. Give and take. Whew.
Another reason right there why people settle.
Jealous when you go out there. When you are in a situation, and this could be a friendship and not just romantic. This applies to different kinds of relationships. You can have a friend, and your friend is, oh, I've been looking up things. I'm going to school. I'm getting ready to start a podcast. I'm getting ready to, finish my degree in this. I'm getting ready to start my business. Oh my God, girlfriend, I'm finally getting ready to open up my ice cream shop I've been talking about. Why would you do that? Ain't nobody eat no ice cream. It's too cold.
Shut up.
Oh, so you don't like that I'm doing some stuff for myself. Now you want to be acting funny. Because let me tell you, this right here, you preaching in these comments. You're going to have to be on part 2 because you preaching in these comments. Equally yoked does not just apply to romantic relationships. It can apply to friendships. It can apply to any kind of connection. Because when you are investing your heart and soul into something, into a connection, and there really isn't any true compatibility, maybe let's go to the romantic side. Maybe you are physically attracted to this person. Aesthetically, they are everything that you could have ever dreamed. Shades of brick, house.
But when they open their mouth,
and no shade to the brick houses out there.
But when they open their mouth,
more to that. He can be dark, tall, handsome, chocolate, almond, raisinette, junior mint, all that. My favorite candy. Yeah. But if you only gonna stay on the surface and you're not having conversation to get some revelation about your situation, I feel my pastor coming out of me now. Then you're gonna be in a world of trouble, tribulation. For real.
You got him. Because
resentment is the strongest emotion to me that will have you teetering on the edge. If you just dealing with somebody because they somebody and they been with you, well, he been there for me and she was there for me back in 72 when my dog passed away, and then she was
That was 72.
the card back in
That
60.
was 72.
Well, what are they doing for you now?
That was
This time,
1972.
man, we are spending time with people day after day, month after month, year after year, that we have no business being even connected to where the sight of them gives you bubble guts.
I can't stand this person, but I'm selling
And
because they because
I'm not saying you should just go rogue and sever the ties and go evil, but you have to be realistic. If I'm settling, whether it's a marriage or a friendship, at some point, my unhappiness is going to step onto center stage, and I'm going to start detesting you.
if I haven't already,
And then it's going to start being evident to other people. You can only
very much
hide
so.
detest and disdain for so long. You can
Hmm.
only hide that crap. You can only smile. Take a selfie, honey. Cheese. You go like, oh my
No,
God.
no,
You
good
go
damn well you ain't want to do it.
you go at some point the real deal Holyfield is going to surface.
Hmm.
And you're not going to be able to have not one good conversation, because every time y'all talk, it's going to be an argument. Every time y'all sit down at the table, well, hell, you got my nerve. Well, hell, who want to live life like that in a marriage, in a
Dysfunction.
relationship?
Dysfunction.
Dysfunction. And do you know what dysfunction does?
Ooh, it's a destroyer.
I done lost all my edges due to dysfunction. No shade. I done lost. Real talk. I done lost all my edges to dysfunction. There is a
Doesn't it?
there is a chemical, I think it's called cortisol. I need Dr. Dana McKellar Ataka in here. That stress causes you. I think it's called cortisol. That stress releases in your body. And now you're talking about hair loss, migraines, high blood, low blood pressure, no blood at all. Now you're talking about backaches, neck aches, stomach aches, ulcers. Your body can't afford you to settle.
Mm-mm.
Your
No,
health
ma'am.
can't even afford you settling.
Nope.
Your whole being is negatively impacted when you settle for anything less than God's best in any of the areas of wellness: physical, emotional, financial, occupational, intellectual, social, any area.
Yep.
You can't afford to settle. I am about to be 50 in another year. I gave up on my dreams because of body image issues. It is a dream come true to sit in this chair and have a whole podcast. I wanted to be a TV news journalist. I didn't go to Specs Howard School for journalism because I figured, who want to look at a big old black woman on the television? Well, y'all looking at a whole big old black woman in a turban tonight. And it feels good to have a spot to have a voice.
Yes, it does.
No more settling. No more settling. We got to be done with that. And if you settle on a job that ain't for you, guess what's going to end up happening? Your career going to die.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to catch up with you. You're going to say something to somebody in that job. You're going to look at somebody the wrong way. You're going to write an email that's cutthroat, and they're going to write your butt up.
Yep. When you settle for not pursuing your dreams die. Your aspirations die.
That part, bro. How many of us, you know where the most dreams are now that never manifested? In the cemetery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cemeteries have
Fact.
the most unmanifested dreams and aspirations because people have settled for what, well, my mama did this and my daddy did that, so I probably should do this. No, what do you want to do, sis, bro? What do you want to do? Dreams and aspirations die too because you are exhausted. You can't even work on your own vision because that 9 to 5 has depleted you. I would not have been able to do this podcast and work where I worked 2 years ago. I wouldn't have been able to do both. I could barely do my jewelry and work a 9 to 5. The job took so much time, so much energy, so much of my mental capacity.
Yep. We settle for what we have.
Yeah, but I needed my paycheck. I still do need
Mhm.
my paycheck quite as it's kept. But because I fell ill, and sometimes God will push you in a corner and pluck you out of stuff when you're not strong enough to step out on faith yourself. Oh, this is good. It takes discipline if you're going to do both. You got to be able to allocate the right amount of time and energy
Mhm.
and staying prayerful and focused. If you give him more energy and time to your 9 to 5, and then when you get home, you don't have enough for your vision, that means the balances are off. So maybe you can't work 14 hours. I only got paid for 8 anyway. I'm
We
salary.
we settle for imbalance. We settle for imbalance in our lives, in our personal lives. We settle for
Yes.
imbalance in our career, in our work lives. We settle for
Yes.
imbalance in our social lives. All that
Yes.
you just put it out there.
Yes.
Shelly's just put it out there. It's when we settle for imbalance in every aspect of where we are in our lives, our whole life is going to be out of balance, going to be
Whole
out of
life.
order. It's going to
Yes.
be out of alignment.
Yes.
And the worst thing to me to be is to be out of alignment, be out and
Right.
and everybody talk about wanting to be in God's alignment, which is very important
It
to
is.
to those of us who are believers, but just as equally as important as being in alignment with yourself internally, externally.
But that to me all falls under God's alignment.
It does.
If you're going back to God's plan for you, do you think it's God's plan for you to be in a job that's making you sick and lose your hair?
No.
You think it's God's plan for you to be in a marriage where you're being abused? You think it's God's plan for you to be in even in friendships where they're draining you of every ounce of joy, peace, love. They're draining you of all your fruit of the spirit. You ain't got no fruit of the spirit left when you're dealing with them. You
None.
look like a prune. So then they got you looking like a whole California raisin. That's not God's plan. If God's plan is for us to prosper in our soul, in our body, in our mind, in our spirit, in our finances, in every area, man, I really have been out of alignment. And a lot of it comes from people.
Mm-hmm.
People putting their negativity on you, their unrealistic expectations on you, and you hit the subscribe button. Bing!
Yeah. But it also goes
We
to the
have been
choices that we
subscribed.
make too. It also goes back to the choices that
Oh,
we make too,
absolutely.
because our choices have consequences.
Absolutely.
The roads we choose
Oh,
the roads we choose to ride on.
true. True. True.
Your car out of alignment because you've been riding on a road full of potholes.
So here's where the rubber meets the road. We're coming to the last half hour. And thank you all for you have been rocking with us for this this topic. It's layered. What do we do to change it? We've identified a few different capacities where we might have settled: relationships, friendships, marriage, job, where we have second guessed our own God-given ability. I could even go a step further, and I ain't gonna stay here long. Some of you have a calling on your life where God speaks to you, but you don't even do what he says to do or talk to who he says to talk to because you feel like you are inadequate and you sit back in the shadows. You could have a Holy Ghost download. I mean, you a Holy Ghost Power Ranger. You could have a whole download, and God says, go over there and do this. Go over there and bless them. Go over there and say this. But because of your own feelings of inadequacy,
Damn.
I don't have a title. They're not going to accept me. I'm
I
not dressed right.
I can so relate to that.
Ooh wee.
I can so relate to that.
Ooh wee. Ouch, for real. And for many of us, this is why I told God recently, if you mean for me to do this, and he knows that this is talking about, that the next time I get asked to, I won't say no. Listen, Shelley's View. This is the book we read for Girl Chat. Killing Comparison, because you on fire tonight. The sisters and I are reading this book, Killing Comparison. Because
Join up for Girl Chat with that, man, because
when
that's a
you
powerful book,
start
man, for real.
comparing yourself to other people, I don't sing like her. I don't preach like her. I don't know how to do that. I can't do what she does or what he does. You're not supposed to. It's by Nona Jones. Killing Comparison. Reject the lie that you aren't good enough and live confident in who God made you to dang on be. Dab nabbit. Come on.
I can
Self
so relate to what you just said. Oh my
sabotage.
God.
And God has given us, each one of us. I stand on this, y'all. I believe that everybody was given an element of greatness, something very great inside of you innately. Here's the thing. It's called a seed of greatness. But if you're not watering it, if you're not tilling the ground, if you're not giving it the sunlight, whatever it needs to grow and to cultivate, it dies. When you settle for less than God's absolute best, your seed dies. Your seed withers away. So no matter how nervous I am to get up and preach on April 14th at God's Grace Church of God in Christ for Women's Day, guess who's gonna do it? Shaky knee highs and all. Because I told God, if you mean for me to operate in this capacity, if this is what you mean for me to do, then open that door. And I won't run from it no more. I don't know every scripture. I'm not the best Bible scholar, but I know how to study the word. I know how to pray. And God has given me something to say. So I made a deal with him. If you open that door for me, dear Jesus to Christ, I'm going to walk through it. And what if everything that you ever needed was on the other side of fear? And all you had to do is say yes. What if?
For us to do.
What if? Because settling turns the focus back to you. Well, you don't really have this. You don't really have. Nah, I'm good. When you know in your knower, you could do that. Yep. You don't even apply for the job. You don't even go for the promotion because, well, I know so and so gonna go for it, and she got 2 degrees. Yeah.
What that matter?
And I only been to college orientation, so I know they're gonna give it to her. I'm good. You don't know that. And you don't know that.
And the question you have to ask yourself is, what does that matter?
Whew, come on, magical question. The $1 million question.
What does that matter?
Why does that even matter?
Who cares? Get out there, jump out there in the deep end of that pool.
What's the worst that can happen? If you apply for it and get rejected, you got a job. If you apply for it and get it, you got another job. Come on.
Exactly. It's a 50-50 chance. You win or you lose, or both ways. You win or you lose both ways. Actually, you win both ways because you're still employed.
And consistency is key in so many areas, because many of us, if you're in the right community and you got the right set of friends, they will not let you be mediocre. Let me tell you how I probably get on my brother's nerves. Bro, what's going on? Bro, what is that? Bro, what's happening? What's happening? Talk to me. What's going on? What you going through? What's happening? When you're in the right community, and they sensing like she a little off today, or a couple of her posts are a little concerning. Do you need something? You need me to come roll through and get you? You need to go walk by the water and scream and holler and cry? What you need? When you have the right kind of connections and people who literally will not let you fall. I may not be able to fix it all or fix any of it, but I can listen. I can pray. We can strategize together. I can hear you out.
Invaluable.
I can pay attention. I ain't that
It's
broke where I can't pay
invaluable.
attention. I can pay attention.
It's invaluable. The right people in the right community
Ooh wee.
is invaluable because they're gonna make number one, they're gonna make sure that you don't fall on your face.
See?
They're gonna tell you to hold your head up, even though even though hell's happening around you.
Man.
And they're gonna make sure that if you go through the fire, they're gonna make sure you come out there not smelling like smoke.
Man. And even if you scrape your knee, I may scrape mine too, and we just gonna get a Band-Aid together. I am stuck on Band-Aids because Band-Aids stuck on me.
The right community keeps us grounded.
Yes.
But it also keeps us from going into that settling part, because the right people in the right community will hold you accountable for your thought process.
If you ain't getting accountability in your friendship circle, fire them. They are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Quickly. Because if your friends are not holding you accountable and you not holding your friends accountable, then there's something wrong with your friendship.
And if you're not telling them what your goals are so that they can hold your tail accountable, shame on you. You play too much.
You playing. Stop playing.
I can't do friends like that. If you coming to me saying, oh, hold me accountable, sis. I need your help, sis. And I'm gonna come hard. I'm gonna come hard. I know me. I could be a little overbearing, and forgive me. Sorry, not sorry. But my intentions are so pure because I don't want anybody out here feeling like they by themselves.
Exactly.
I don't want anybody to be left behind. Like, I mean, friendships, this is nothing to be playing with. I mean, when you little, you don't even know what friendships mean. Is until you really get to a point where, dang, they've been my friend. You've been rocking with me through some really tough times. We got to come in here. And if you fall, they are there to help you get back up. Don't make fun of you. Don't tell your business. Don't be leaking out confidential information. Come on.
They gonna dust you off.
Come on. Thank you for tagging. I appreciate you doing that. They will be there. When a woman go in the bathroom and she thinks she cute, and she go to walk out and she ain't check all the parameters, and her girl behind her and she catch that slip hanging, come back here.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Your whole tailbone is out. You don't feel that air, girl?
Come here. Hold on.
Is out. Your whole buttocks, your whole gluteus and the maximus is out here exposed to the galaxy. Get on back in this bathroom. I'm not gonna let you walk down the holy convocation aisle like that.
And I think people kind of confuse that with being a good friend. Can you confuse the settling with as compared to being a good friend? If I'm a good friend to you, I'm not gonna allow you to settle for anything less than what I think what I believe your best is.
That's right. That's right.
I'm gonna do whatever I can to kind of get you to whatever that pinnacle is for you, whatever that pinnacle is for you.
That's right.
And I may be hard, I may be a little bit overbearing, and I may come off like as a drill sergeant. But if I believe in you,
yes,
if I believe in you and your talents and your abilities and your disposition, I'm gonna do whatever I can to get you to where you gotta go, wherever you need to go. And even if you get to the door of where you got to go and the door's locked, hey, don't worry about it. I got a key. Here you go.
Come on.
Walk in. Go ahead, walk in.
That belief. Everybody who was in my circle, everybody who I call friend, sister, brother, I believe in them. 200%. And you ought to feel that in your friendships. We don't have to agree for me to believe in you.
No.
We don't have to see things the same way for me to believe in your vision.
Nope.
I am going to support my people that are out here doing the doggone thing, trying to come up in the world. And I never subscribe to the statement that it's lonely at the top.
It's
Because I
not.
don't plan on being there by myself ever. Ever. I don't
Any
like
and
that.
anyone that says that, anyone that says that phrase, they they don't have a community around them.
Oh my gosh. Community is so important. Even with this topic of settling. Sometimes you need those really honest friends, family, whoever those people are, to say, you don't see what I see. Don't you
Exactly.
know you sitting on a gold mine? Did you just see how you single-handedly produced this and wrote this and interviewed them and planned that and handled that?
Hmm.
I worked in a call center. Oh my gosh. I'm talking 25 years ago, 22 years at the one company. When we had a tough phone call, you know how those of you who worked on the phones, some of those customers who yeah,
Yeah, them
just
type.
no matter how kind and hospitable and accommodating you are, they push all the buttons because they want you to flip off on them, but you just won't do it. So what I used to do, because you couldn't tell by my voice that I was having a bad call. I would always keep my same smile in my voice. I understand that, Mr. Johnson, and I apologize for that. But what I want to offer you, and they bam, I'll put my hands up like this. This is how I
Mm-mm.
diffuse my spirit. Like when they went up, I had to come down. Whoo, whoo, whoo. So when I got done with some of the worst calls, my coworkers would be like, "Girl, you did that." I want to throw my headset down and go in my car and say, "I freaking quit." They're like, "Girl, you did that." And I even had coworkers go tell the manager, give her a kudos, because she been working with this man for 2 hours. And by the end of that call, he was like, "I'm so sorry for how I talked to you. I'm sorry because you didn't even let it. You didn't. You never changed your voice with me. I called you everything but a child of God, and you stuck in there with me. Now I'm in love with you, and I want to marry you. Boy, get off my phone,
Get
right?"
off here.
But my coworkers, my community, that was handing me different job aids. Here, read this to them. Here, try this. Here, they was giving me stuff in between the call, helping me. Come on. Who you are connected to might help you to not settle.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you get in a funk in life. You could be saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, running for the Lord with one moccasin on. You the fire.
She said one moccasin. Oh my God.
You run, you've been running for God so much, your whole sandal and came off. But even those of us who are super spiritual, we have those days where
Right.
we just don't feel like ugh. But we can't afford to isolate because we need to at least, okay, community, okay, village, okay, friend.
What y'all got for
This
me
is what I'm,
today?
this is what I'm feeling today. I ain't gonna wallow here, but I'm just gonna tell you this is how I'm feeling today. And then that one friend, girl, that was me yesterday. I turned on my Fred Hammond. I went and got my hat. I went and got my coat. I went for a walk, and I shook the devil up off of me. I'm
Mm-hmm.
on my way. Go get your hat and come on. You need that. You need that. Don't even settle for friends who can't invest in you on that level. You may not be
Yeah.
able to be friends with the hood rats forever. Some
Mm-mm.
folks may be able to rock with you all from cradle to the grave. But some people, they get off the bus because where you're going, where you're headed, the level of discipline and drive that God has given you, it's not matching where they are. And that's okay. We ain't got to fall out.
Exactly.
We got to fight.
Exactly. Understand everybody ain't gonna ride your bus. They gonna get
Everybody
off at their
ain't gonna
designated
ride.
stop.
There it is.
They gonna get
Some
off at the
will
designated
fall
stop.
sooner than others, and that's okay. And we ain't gotta have 8,000 friends. If you naive enough to think that all 8,000 of your Facebook friends love you like that, ask them all for $1. And let's see who get $8,000 in your Cash App account.
Ah,
Just go ahead. I need all 8,000 of my Facebook friends to cash out me $1 in 1 hour, and let's see how that turn out.
not
If you get
good.
$8, if you get
But
85.
also, the other thing I think for us to kind of get out of this, get out of the settling part, is in at 51 years old, I'm looking at this from this particular angle. It's a
Mhm.
matter of perspective.
Yeah.
It's and I in one of the poems that I wrote, it's not about, we all talk about perspective is something that you see, that,
Yeah.
and that's all well and good.
Mhm.
But perspective also requires the other four senses.
Oh, come on here with it.
It requires it requires touch, it requires, taste, it requires feel, it requires, to hear. It's a matter of perspective. And for me, the perspective for me is looking at the positive
Mhm.
in things and
Mm.
not dwell so much on the negative, because I think
Mm.
when we settle because we look at the negative.
Wow.
We look at the negative and the negativity of the aspect of what we go through, and we
Wow.
don't look at the positive aspect of it. And
Mm.
we reject that because, well, all I see is negative. That's all I see. But on the back end is something that is something positive that just happened
Come
on the
on back.
back end of it.
Come
And
on.
people talk about, and everybody say, well, perspective, we see things. I was like, well, there's a difference between seeing and looking.
You better preach today, sir. All right.
Seeing is
Preach.
seeing is a physical act that requires us to see.
All right.
Looking is requires us to look within. If you can see a negative thing coming or a negative thing happening, then you can also you could also look for a positive thing out of it. People don't look at it from that aspect. And like I said, in 51 years of living, for me,
Mm.
it's a matter of perspective. Is even in my foul ups, my bloops, my bleeps, and my blunders, and even when the times where I've settled for this, that, and the third,
Mm.
all those experiences, even though they had negative aspects to them, they always had a positive aspect attached to it as well. And
Wow.
we look way too much at negative stuff when we settle because, well, I'm only good for this. Well, how do you know you're only good for that? Have you
Mm.
tried anything else? Have
You
you
try
explored
it.
any other options?
That's it. We don't want to explore other options. We like things to be the same. We are creatures of patterns and habits, whether they're good habits or bad patterns. We just want it to be the same. And when you get stuck in a rut of familiarity and you never look to see what else is there, that's when you settle and you'll become resentful. That's the key.
Mhm.
You just hit
And
it. You just hit it.
resentment is a very hard pill to swallow for a lot
Oh,
of people.
that's man, bitterness, resentment, that thing will eat you up like a cancer. Be in a relationship with someone you know you really ain't even got business with. You will resent them, detest them, and loathe their very existence at some point. Now you're
Mhm.
worn out and you don't even have what's going to be left if you were to start over. You're so damaged, you start to wear. Relationships can cause wear and tear. If you're
Mhm.
in something that's out of alignment, you brought up that very powerful word, brother, alignment. If you out of alignment and you still driving that car, or there's work that has to be done, you're not doing it, at some point that thing gonna break down. You I don't
Mhm.
care what kind of car it is. It could be the finest of luxury cars. But if you're not doing right by the insides of it and the maintenance, and you out of alignment and you or out of gas, at some point There's nothing left but two hollow shells of people. I'm looking at you, looking at me like, dang, you get on my nerves. I mean, even in the most nice times, y'all find a reason to argue. You have to grow into compatibility. That's a good point. You become empty, depleted, even in a job.
Mm-hmm.
And you could be good at the job, but at some point, what if God is calling you to the next level? But you're so fearful. Well, if I apply for that, I got to go back to training, and I'm not used to being a student. I'm used to being a teacher. That was me. That was me. I'm doing Miss Transparent right now. It took me a while to move out of that one department. It's all I knew for decades. I kept peeping over there. I wonder what they do over there. I wonder what y'all doing over there. What y'all doing?
I want to know.
I'm
I'm curious.
okay, so I got to apply for the job. Look at all these qualifications. Okay, I have that, but I don't have that. I don't have that. I could get that. I could work. I've done that. Okay. Whew. Just go and apply, Tanya. What's the worst that can happen? Just go and apply.
They can say no.
Right. And like, they can say yes. And much to my own surprise, they said yes. And here come everybody else. We thought you loved this. We thought you would never leave this. I'm not leaving what I love. I'm opening myself up to something new.
Look at this comment right there. This is the one thing that's settling. That's
Our
settling the
zones that really
we
ain't
settle.
that comfortable all the time. At the end of the day,
We settle because we want to be in our comfort. We want to stay in that bubble.
the bubble. We want to stay
Why?
in this pattern. We don't want to change. We have many of us have pushed up against change all of our lives because change can be uncomfortable. But in my job, our saying used to be the only thing consistent is change.
Yep.
We had so many changes in our department. You would get a piece of paper that would say effective Monday, do it like this. Okay, good. We're going, all right, I got it. By Tuesday evening, effective Wednesday, don't do that.
What?
Like, dang, I was just getting used to this because change was coming so much. But when you deal with a customer-based company and the customers speak and you got to shift, look at what COVID did. People now got to have chats. They don't want to be on hold with you for 2 hours. They want to be able to click a button and chat. Hey, is this covered? Hey, am I on? Hey, we had to come out of our comfort zone.
But change is even more prevalent in a relationship.
Oh my God, it needs to be.
Especially when two people are in a romantic relationship or even a friendship.
Yeah.
And change happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
How the other person reacts to that change usually sometimes determines the course of their relationship from that point forward.
Financial change. I would have never thought that I would not be on that job. I made good money. I worked hard to get in that position. I would have never thought that I would not be there today.
Mm-hmm.
So when you are in a relationship or a marriage and something as devastating as the loss of a major income happens, how do you recover? Somebody
Exactly.
gonna have to pivot. Somebody gonna have to, I mean, if there's sickness involved or some kind of, change can shake stuff up, but it can also show you what you're really made of. Sink or swim. If I say it for better or worse, if I say it richer or poorer, if I say it sickness and health, it's not just something cute to say, people.
It's meant. It's meant.
I'm supposed to have your back. Whether we got to downsize, streamline, if we got to come from the big house to a small house, the big car to a small car, if we got to take our luxury car and get a banana boat caravan until we can afford whatever. I'm with you though. I signed up for this. I'm rocking with you.
But one thing I will say, and I think this is something you can agree on, and everybody else that's watching can agree upon. Change is the one thing that is the most uncertain.
Ooh.
And the one thing that we are the most afraid of.
The uncertainty, the fear of I'm stepping on ground that I can't see. I think that's called faith. I know God has me. I know he said he would never leave me. I feel him pushing me further out into this area. I'm going to step without knowing. Picture those, if you look at Facebook, those exotic places where they have these things where you can walk on glass across a bridge, but the bridge is glass. You're looking straight down into the creeks, 200,000 feet below, but it's glass. Like, would you do that? Like, no, I wouldn't do that. But that's kind of how faith is.
Yep.
I don't know what this is. I don't know where I'm going. I can't see. Lord, where you at? I literally gotta trust that your word is what it is.
You stepping on solid ground. Does it really matter where you? Does it really matter where the destination is, or does it really matter where the destination is as long as you have faith?
We feel that God owes us an itinerary. He said
No.
he knows the plans he has for us. He didn't say, I know the plan and I'm sending you a copy to your email. What's your email address? That's not what he said. Now, if he chooses to reveal, that's on him. But he doesn't owe you a play-by-play of what he wants to do with you every day and how he's going to bless you and how he's going to keep you. He just wants you to obey and acknowledge him so he can direct your path.
Even better question, sis.
Direct the
Even
path.
better question.
What's
Even
that?
better question. If we got the play-by-play, would we still follow it?
And that's why he don't give it to us, because we wouldn't. Well, I don't like this turn right here, Lord. Why we gotta make a right on 7 Mile? I don't like 7 Mile. Well, that's why he don't give it to us. That's it. Jeremiah 29:11. For he knows. He said, for I know the plans. As long as you trust me and I know the plans. If you get in the car with me,
you
and
good.
you my driving, and you trust that I know where I'm going, and you're in the passenger seat, you trust in the driver. Okay, well, hey, Lord, you got it. Jesus, take the
Exactly.
wheel. Listen.
My thing is, and this is me, and this is something I think a lot of us can equate to, for those of us that like to be around the water and like to be around a pool. I'm gonna, if I know how deep the pool is, even if I don't know how deep the pool is, I'm still gonna jump. But I'm going to jump feet first instead of head first.
All right.
Because if I jump in head first, I'm gonna crack my skull and I ain't gonna be able to come back up to the surface. But if I jump in feet first,
okay.
Even if I sink to the bottom, my feet hit the bottom of the pool, I can push myself back up and come to the surface.
Come on up to the top. Come on and rise up. And
so it doesn't. I mean, so
come on, Maya Angelou.
And like, faith is what we don't see. What we don't see, what we don't hear, what we can't touch, what we can't feel.
But you gotta know it. That's the thing. It's a belief. You said that word. I believe God. I believe his word. I know he said I am the lender and not the borrower. Yep, I borrowed $10 from Pookie last Wednesday. I'm gonna pay him back. But I still know I will not always have to borrow. I am above and not beneath. Even though somebody makes me feel like I'm beneath, that's not where I belong. Faith is a belief system. When you stop settling, this is what the article says. This is how you stop settling. Number 1, get radically honest with yourself. Come on, trust God.
Man.
Radical honesty. Anything when you say is radical is a shakeup. It ain't the norm. Radical honesty. Who did God say I am? And what have I learned throughout the years? If you're going to go to the corporate side, what skills and abilities can they take from me if I go somewhere else?
Nothing.
Can I cut my skull open and say, there goes some customer service right there. Get it, scoop it. Yep, we got that back. Okay, she can go now. No. What
they
you
can't take none of that from you.
Come on. So at the end of the day, is what you afraid of really worth being afraid?
Not really.
I mean, fear has crippled us in so many areas of life. It's kryptonite. So the one thing I leave with you all, and we're going to do a part 2 next Saturday. Get honest. So that means here's what the article says. The truth is, you already know exactly what you need to do. Settling isn't about not having options. It comes down to deciding whether to ignore that voice that lives inside of you or not, God. Settling means you look at a situation and you hear the whisper that says, we want something else. And you choose to stuff it down into the bottom of your purse. Come on. When you hear that voice, I want something else. Follow it. What do you want? What do you want? Do you even know? That could be why you're settling, because you're not even sure what you want. Maybe it's time to go back to the basics and write the vision and make it plain. We got to get out of here. Thank you, Brother Fred, for coming on a spare notice. I didn't even get to half my notes. Thank you. Thank you for all of y'all who came through the comments. For all of you who are going to watch the replay, put replay in the comments. Share this. Will you please share this? And subscribe to Trailblazers with a Z Radio on Facebook and on YouTube. Critical Conversations has a Facebook and a YouTube. We want to get our YouTube subscribership up. And we've got merch.
Yeah, buddy.
Mugs. So go to our website, www.trailblazers with the Z radio.com or just
radio.com. No, radio. I put it in wrong.
.com. We got merchandise. We would love for you to get a shirt, get a mug, help us to get the word out. Also, if you have an event, a book, a product, a service, and you want to advertise here on Trailblazers Radio, get with us. Email us at trailblazersradio@gmail.com. Trailblazers with a Z on the end, radio@gmail.com. We would love to have you as a sponsoring advertiser, or if you want to be a permanent sponsor and we just always shout you out on every single show, we can talk about that too. That's how you can support us and we can support you. So I thank y'all for being here tonight. I has been under the weather, but I really wanted to tackle this, and we're going to have another part 2. And I got some other friends we're going to bring in on this settling. Be radically honest with yourself and do what Shelley's View said, and trust God. No more settling. What God gave you and the element of greatness he gave you is worth cultivating. It's worth the exploration. It's worth the nurture. What you have now isn't what you're going to always be. Know that.
Exactly.
And when the doors open up for you and you know that that's God, don't walk, run through them, because there must be something that you need on the other side. I will see you Monday morning at 9:30 a.m. for Power Hour. I love you,
buddy.
a wonderful rest of your weekend. Go to somebody's church tomorrow. Thank you, God. I'll see y'all. Bye, everybody.